Thank you, Leslie Orr. That was very nice. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We are here. We are the Ankler Critics Bench. What are we? You guys are the prestige junkies, and I'm the plus
You're
one.
the
I guess.
Ankler. No, you're the Ankler himself.
We can't all be. I mean, it's not plural, so
You've built the umbrella under which we are also lucky to withstand the storms of media. So
we are the crew at the Ankler who are especially take Hollywood deaths very seriously to heart, and it's a passion of mine. And I brought here my friends Katey Rich and Chris Rosen to join me to talk about. We had a very big one this weekend. The great Diane Keaton has joined. Normally, we would just if we were able to jump on the air here right after it happened, we would just sort of react and talk about her. But because we got a couple days here to digest, and it's gotten a little, we said we'd make this a chance for us to each put together our Diane Keaton top 5 and go through talking about what we think are her great roles. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of overlap. So
I tried to throw in some outliers so there wouldn't be too much overlap. So we'll see what we wind up with.
Yeah. Who wants? So let's just dive right in. Who wants to take the first pick? Who wants to go first?
Katey,
Chris, you want to?
I'll go first. I mean,
I think Chris should go first.
Are we going? I'll take Annie Hall right off the bat. I just rewatched it. She won an Oscar for Annie Hall. It's still great in my estimation. Annie Hall. She's still really great in it. She's so wonderful. And I just think it's just like a perfect encapsulation of, I thought, what made her really so special as an actor, because she's so unique in the movie, and incredibly funny and weird and strange in a way that feels almost out of step with the time of the era, and still feels like that. So I just find it like really great. And she's so fantastic in it, and so I'll take Annie Hall, I guess.
Yeah.
I want to not catch myself saying something stupid, like, because I know that Annie Hall, the character, is named after her. Like, what was her relationship with Woody Allen at that time? Because I was going to shout it out as like a prime example of a role being written for somebody, and like
it was written. It was written for her.
Were they in a relationship? Like, did they have at the time that they made it?
I think so, because she was in his play, right? It was played against him. Was that the play or was that the movie? So he knew her already, right? And I think he wrote it with her in mind, and they were kind of together, or friends, sort of together.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
It's her name. Her name is Diane Hall, and she was nicknamed Annie. So,
and she has a Grammy Hall, just like in the movie.
That's true. Like, just the way, there's a lot of examples of like women working with their husbands or their boyfriends or whatever. And like, the idea of like someone's camera capturing something about somebody. But, whatever the extent of their relationship was, like Annie Hall is just such a prime example of somebody's luminous, real self coming out and creating this iconic character. It's like, you can't really replicate it for that reason.
Yeah. And the one thing about it, I mean, she's kind of someone who everybody likes on like every side of the spectrum, every side, young, old, like and I think this is the part that really shows that so well, that how she's so sort of open and vulnerable, but also funny and dramatic, and you play all sorts of ranges. Also, a fun fact from IMDb trivia: this is one of 3 roles for which someone has won playing a character named Annie.
Oh, like Best Actress?
Yes.
Oh,
wow! I can think of one other one already off the top of my head.
Okay,
Annie Wilkes from Misery, I believe.
Good one.
Yes, very good, very good.
My brain went to the musical Annie, which I believe won 0 Academy Awards. So, I don't like Annie Baker Gunn ever won. Okay, sorry, Richard, you just tell me.
No, I'm trying to find. I memorized that. I lost it on the page that year. So keep guessing.
Somebody said Annie Sullivan in the comments, which is the miracle worker.
Oh,
yes,
Miracle
that is
Worker.
correct. That is
Yes.
that is.
So we got it. That's a great
There
trivia
we
question,
go.
Richard.
Yeah.
Look
That
at
is
this.
a
We're
great
getting
trivia
great.
question.
There's all kinds of great stuff here already. Great trivia, Diane Keaton stuff. I love it.
Here's what I've learned is that Mae Robson was nominated for playing a character called Apple Annie in 1932-33, back when there were only 3 Best Actress nominees, and lost to Katharine Hepburn for Morning Glory, which is the name of a Diane Keaton movie. I would like to shout out at some point. Are we ranking our picks? Like, Chris just went right out of the gate with Annie Hall. Okay.
I'm putting them in random order. I will say, less word about Annie Hall. I also chose that as my Diane Keaton to watch last night, and her performance is bulletproof and untouchable. The movie is not as bulletproof for me as I haven't watched it in a long time. But the even forgetting what came later with Woody, the intensity of the level of neuroticism from his character is just like I. It seems sort of honest and open and refreshing and at the time you watch it now, you're like, Jesus, can somebody like take that guy for
Do you think
a
it's
walk
one of
or
those
something?
things where it's been copied so much that like I think we're kind of in a real like valley of like neurotic guys talking about their love lives in movies? Like we've moved away from that, and I wonder if like it looks worse because so many people have ripped it off. That happens with old movies, old really influential movies a lot, I think.
I think so, and I think he's doing he is doing sort of his shtick character, the neurotic guy that worked very well in kind of screwball comedies. But so this was the first one that was kind of semi-realistic, um, and I just feel like that character is semi-realistic in the realism sort of doesn't. You just need a little break from it. Anyways, but her performance was flawless there.
Yeah.
So Katie, what's your
I guess so. Since we're not
top
ranking anything, I guess I'll just go right to Morning Glory since I already shouted it out. Like I mentioned in the newsletter today, because I was kind of going back through, and I think that the last 20 years of Diane Keaton's career, like really post Something's Gotta Give, which I'm sure we'll talk about. She didn't get a lot of credit. It was a lot of like pretty iffy movies, honestly, even if she was always great in them. And I don't think she's like the best part of Morning Glory. Like I mostly remember that as Rachel McAdams and Harrison Ford having this really fun dynamic. Like it's one of the last fun Harrison Ford movies. But I think it's so emblematic of like what her stature was at that point. I guess 2010 is when that movie came out, where like, she's a pro, she can bounce off absolutely anybody. Like Harrison Ford, not really known as someone for like crack comic timing at that point in his career, but she manages to like pull that out of him. And there's this kind of mentoring thing where she was acting opposite some like younger actresses at that point and like, up and coming comedic stars. Rachel McAdams, I think, should have had a much better comedy career. I think if we made more comedies now, Rachel McAdams would be doing what Diane Keaton was able to do for a lot of the beginning of her career. And Morning Glory, just kind of seeing the two of them converge in that, I just feel like said a lot about when in the best movie she made at the end of her career, that she was able to do that kind of that generational handoff. And I love the movie's a real comfort watch for me.
I mean, I'd go further than that. I'd say the last 40 years of her career. Like she just
Father of the Bride, dead in a ditch.
Okay,
Richard,
well that's on my list, but like
there are a few. I think I would say we there once you hit like there's a lot of movies on there where they're like her smiling next to an old guy, especially like the last 25 years.
These are a group of older women, which I want to get to those at some point.
Certainly,
well.
A long-suffering mom, but like I would say it's very hard not to compare her to Meryl Streep because they have a similar trajectory and similar range, all that. But when we take Meryl Streep's tally, I think you're going to see a lot of 5-star movies on there, and a lot of.
Are you just predicting Meryl Streep's death right now? Like you're just waiting.
I don't. Spoiler alert: Meryl Streep will die someday.
Damn it!
And
she
we
could
will
outlive all of us. We have no reason to believe she won't.
Probably will, but
I do think an issue. What you mentioned that with like Diane Keaton and Meryl Streep. I think Diane Keaton is so much Diane Keaton, right? Like she's just such a like Meryl for now maybe is like kind of doing Meryl. But I'm like, she really is like, and she was like a chameleon at times, right? Like
famous
you could, like,
chameleon.
see her, and like Diane Keaton is really Diane Keaton in a lot of these movies, and that makes it harder, I think, as she gets older, especially, and like it's harder to find like smart roles for older people. That makes it challenging a little bit.
Yeah,
So.
and this is
Meryl's Oscar nomination for Devil Wears Prada could not have happened without Diane Keaton's Oscar nomination for Something's Gotta Give. She paved the way for Meryl's pivot to comedy. Just put it up there.
This is not a criticism of her either. It's a criticism of Hollywood for not having better parts for her,
Yes.
and not knowing how to use her talents better. So, no disrespect to herself. And
no,
she never gave a bad performance in her life. So, okay, I'll go with my top one now here, and I'm going to just put this one out before anyone else can grab it. So, no surprise, the Godfather is a notable film.
Is it?
Probably a lot of people here have seen it, and her part is really, she is our entry point to the Corleone family, and she is how we see it, and she manages to. It's a hard part because you can be sort of the doe-eyed innocent, like, oh my God, why that man had a gun in there, but she plays it in a way that has some gravitas and background and yet allows you can see her shock at what is unfolding, but that this nice Michael boy is involved in all these terrible things. So that's Godfather is a top 10 all-time American film, if not a top 1 all-time American film, and she is kind of the critical performance in that. So which I think a lot of other people would have played that part a lot more broadly, and it would have really dragged down the movie a lot. There's a similar role in Godfather 3 that is not played so adeptly and does drag down that movie completely. So,
I was thinking also about a lot of Scorsese movies, following on the beat of the Godfather's mob movies, where a lot of times the wives and girlfriends, they're like sensible and they're right, but they're kind of like standing in the way of like, Jordan Belfort doing all the fun stuff because, Kristen Miliotti's at home telling him to act right. And Diane Keaton in The Godfather doesn't fall into that trap. And I think that's partly the script because, she's supposed to be the moral center. She's the last shot of the movie, right? You watch the doors close on her.
Yeah.
So like there's an emotional resonance there, but also for her performance, like what you're saying, Richard, that she can add something to that. Not that, actors in other movies weren't doing something with their characters, but there's a richness to that character.
Yeah. Yeah. The movie begins with her coming to the wedding and ends with the door being closed on her. So,
yeah.
I love it. I mean, you could really write all three of them down because in Godfather 2, she's obviously also fantastic. I would say I can't because that's to see where she has the big scene with Michael, right? We're talking about aborting their child, right? Which is just like an incredible scene for both her and Al Pacino. And then honestly, like you were joking before, Richard, about Godfather 3. I would go to bat for Godfather 3, specifically the Coppola recut that he put out a few years ago, which I think is the sharper movie.
Never did see that.
He cuts it's actually shorter than the real Godfather 3. But again, in that, it's an interesting thing to revisit the characters decades later. And it's her relationship or Kay's relationship with Michael in that movie, I find really interesting because she's older and she's with another man and they obviously have the children together and you see her kind of falling back into with Michael and it ends up, it's great because it's such a great tragedy and Mike, obviously, can you spoil The Godfather? But Michael dies at the end, and then also his daughter gets shot, who you're talking about there before, Richard. The performance not obviously great from Sofia Coppola, but I think she's just so great in The Godfather and kind of almost underrated because I feel like a lot of film bros maybe are watching that and being like, get it over with Kay, but she's really great in it. I think she's so good. And she's, again, super charming. And again, obviously her off-screen relationship with Al Pacino, kind of bleeding into on-screen because they're so good together and their chemistry is so great in that movie too. So Godfather, great. I don't
You're
know
making
if
me
you've
want
heard
to
of
watch The
this.
Godfather. I've never seen Godfather
Katie, have
3,
you heard
and
the
I feel like this is. I've seen the first 2. I've never seen the third one. I feel like
See
now
the
maybe
third
the
one. It's
time.
great. I think it's
Is
good.
it
I think
great?
you'd like it.
Is
I think it's
Okay.
actually pretty great.
It has great moments.
It has great moments. It does.
Added to the
has
list
some,
for our
And then a
prestige
lot of
junkie
stuff
after
about
party
the
watch
Vatican
alongs.
Bank.
Oh,
yeah.
So
I read the Da Vinci Code. I can get down with some Vatican conspiracy.
Sure.
All right, so thumbs up from us all for the Godfather.
Yeah, hot take.
Go rent it at your local Blockbuster.
See, you guys are in here bringing in like Annie Hall and the Godfather. Now I'm the only one brave enough to start with Morning
No,
Glory.
you were. Yeah, I wanted to snatch. I was greedy. I wanted to snatch up the Godfather as mine before anyone else did.
I'll go
Chris,
next.
what's your
I'm going to go next, and I'll leave something you got to give to Katie. I'll take Baby Boom, which is another Nancy Meyers co-wrote it with Charles Shire, and then Charles Shire directed it. So not, but I think Baby Boom's great. I remember seeing that as a youth. I rewatched it probably within the last I don't know 5 or 10 years, and she's great in it. It's just a great kind of classic 80s comedy about being a businessman. I was a businesswoman or a business person. I was always like, oh, this is what it's like, going to work wearing a suit.
Gotta have your sneakers
suits,
that you wear on the subway and you change when you get there.
I put this movie in the same thing where I'm like, oh, Working Girl, obviously, Baby Boom, and Secret of My Success. I feel like I watched a lot of these on HBO as a younger person, and they all had a great impact on me. And clearly, the fashion sense rubbed off because you could see every day. I'm dressed to the nines for these jobs, so I'll take Baby Boom.
I had never seen Baby Boom, but watched it a little bit today on Tubi. Shout out to Tubi. And I love, first of all, there's a scene where she's she's handed this baby and she goes to the store to try to figure out what to do. And there's a big wall of Huggies. And this came out the same year as Raising Arizona. So it's 2 classic movies about oh my God, what am I going to do with this baby? I guess I got to go get some Huggies. So strong theme there. And then she tries to go to a business dinner and coat check the baby, which is something no real person would ever do. But this moment of the maitre d' trying to get her to hold the baby while she's trying to have a business call is so 2020 Zoom call with your kids at home. I was like, oh my God, Baby Boom knew before any of us had to do all this. So holds up, still extremely relevant. Good choice, Chris.
Never seen it, and glad neither of you have taken any off my list. So
good. See, that's good. That's what we're trying. We're trying to keep it. It's a good mix of people here. So
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna run out of 5 quickly, but if Chris wants me to take something's got to give, I got to take something's got to give. Yeah, I mean, it's again, Diane Keaton got a Best Actress nomination for a Nancy Meyers movie, which was such an accomplishment. That's not something Meryl didn't get nominated for. It's complicated, right?
Is that the only acting? Is that the only acting nomination for?
A Nancy Meyers movie? Be my guess. I don't know. Someone can fact check me on that.
So, yes, I think so. But Goldie Hawn got Private Benjamin, but she got
true, which Nancy only co-wrote. But that performance is right up there with Private Benjamin. The iconic scene of her sitting and crying at her laptop as she's trying to write her way through heartbreak. We keep talking about the chemistry she has with these men, and you don't want to boil down her success into her relationships with on-screen men, but her with both Keanu Reeves and Jack Nicholson in that movie. There is something about that light that is behind her that we were talking about with Annie Hall, and it's it doesn't diminish her to reflect so well off of them. They kind of grow in strength. I don't think anyone knew Jack Nicholson had that in him at that point in 2003, not just to be serious about Schmidt, but also so funny and light and kind of coming up to her level. It feels like she elevates everybody who's around her. And that movie's just it's a classic for a reason. And again, just this miracle of Oscar history and something that she was able to do at that point in her career. And the fact that she doesn't then have the kind of boom that Meryl did post Devil Wears Prada is crazy, bad luck, Hollywood, whatever you want to call it, but it's kind of a shame.
Yeah, great. That's a good movie. Maybe even a great movie. Certainly, very good movie.
You can say good. It's okay.
And it's. I mean, she has such a magnetic presence and just such a kind of winning personality and everything. I mean, you just kind of understand why everyone would be drawn to her, and all these people would have just instantly make sense why she.
It also feels like Diane Keaton would play Nancy Meyers in the movie about Nancy Meyers if they ever did one, or maybe she is here, right? I mean, they look so much like, I feel like here, so it's kind of like how Chris Nolan makes all of his actors look like him.
Yeah.
Leo in Inception, Robert Pattinson in Tenet.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. I knew Kate would like that one.
Yeah.
I do.
So my next one is my choice of her Woody Allen films, and maybe my favorite of Woody Allen films also, and a large part of that is thanks to her, is Love and Death, which I think is his funniest movie, one of the great comedies of the 70s, just such a literate comedy that is dealing with Russian literature very intensely. She is able to do this sort of highbrow, lowbrow comedy there and play off it with Woody just brilliantly. That movie is sort of infinitely hilarious to me, and her range in it is so great.
Is that one of the hardcore Bergman ones?
No, it's it's the last kind of pure comedy.
Goofy comedy he's doing. Would you say it's goofy, Richard? I mean, do you think it's like goofy?
Yeah, but it's goofy, but it's also about like Russian literature.
Yeah.
It's like a parody of like Russian literature. So it's
so not so far from Bergman.
Dostoevsky and Tolstoy and Turgenev and all this other stuff. And there's some very highbrow conversations in there, like done in a kind of zany way, and it's a great film. Anyone has to say that.
I'll go again. I don't want to I can't believe she made 8 movies. She made 8 movies with Woody Allen, so it's hard not to pick another Woody Allen movie. But I just wanted to shout out Manhattan Murder Mystery. I also really loved. I really like that 80s run of Woody movies. I think they're actually maybe hold up better than, like you were saying, Richard, maybe Annie Hall, though I still think it's pretty great. But Manhattan Murder Mystery, which actually is like an early, is Annie Hall. Like he took the original draft of Annie Hall was this really long winding thing that had a murder mystery, and they pulled that out and made it like this relationship movie, obviously. And then he came back to it for Manhattan Murder Mystery, which is basically like Only Murders in the Building now, kind of, I guess you can say, or certainly there's got to be heavy inspiration for Only the Murders in the Building from Manhattan Murder Mystery, but it's fun to go back to see them together years later. Obviously, I think that's their last movie together, probably, right? Like I don't think she was in any of the other Woody movies, and it's very fun. And again, like they have a great dynamic, and she's great in it. So I always like that one too, and I'll stick with that one for now. And I'm running out too, but I think we'll find it. We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
You guys haven't taken any of mine still.
This is wow. Great, I can't imagine what you have. Book Club Richard, 2 is on your list.
Doing lists with Richard is always fun. Like when we did our movies the last year, it was just like nonstop swerves. It was great. All right, I think I have one that neither of you guys is going to have. And I'm not like, you guys got the great movies, but I just want to shout out Marvin's Room. Classic 90s. They don't make movies like this anymore. Speaking of Leo and speaking of Meryl, this is where the Diane Keaton and Meryl paths converged, and then they went off from there. But they're in this movie, as is Robert De Niro, as is Gwen Verdon, Broadway icon Gwen Verdon. And Diane, in addition to kind of this lightness that Diane Keaton has and this good chemistry with people, she does beleaguered really well, just stressed, mad, flustered by the world around her. And in this movie, she's the sister who has stayed home to take care of the ailing dad. And Meryl Streep is kind of the fuck up who's, I can't remember what it is. Leo is her son and he goes to jail. I don't remember what she's doing. But anyway, she has to begrudgingly come home. And Diane Keaton's one who has all the medicine and knows what to do. And just that wearing the weight of the world on her shoulders and trying not to make it look like that. She's so good at that in what I think is a pretty lovely movie. And just I don't know if you feel this way, Richard, having been older than I was in the 90s, but you watch a movie like that, it just feels very comforting with the twinkling music and everyone looking very young. As I watched it recently and was very glad I did.
Yeah, I've never actually seen that one, but
I don't think it was anyone's top priority in 1996, but it's worth it. I think it might also be on Tubi. It's very easy to watch.
A lot of her movies. This is great. Tubi. This is not sponsored by Pluto and Tubi, but they are great. They have all these movies.
Get in touch, Pluto and Tubi. We'd be happy to take your sponsorship for our in memoriam Substack lives.
Email London at anchor.com.
Okay, my turn again. Well, okay, I'm going to snatch up another big one. I thought someone would have taken this by now, but I'll go ahead with Reds. There.
Nice.
So, which I didn't take because I haven't seen it. I would that's on my list for this.
That was on my list. I have it here on my list too.
Yeah,
it's great.
You know what? It's not on my all-time top 20 of favorite movies or anything. It's not even my favorite Warren Beatty film. I think it's too long. It's a little sanctimonious, but it's such a good depiction of these people at this era when they were sort of possessed by this fervor and trying to navigate a relationship versus this moment of this great historical moment. And this is not we've talked a lot about how she does comedy so well. This is not at all a comedy. It's the opposite of comedy. And she gives that role so much weight and serious, and makes Louise Bryant, the journalist, such a compelling figure there. So a movie I like with reservations, but her performance is fantastic.
What is your favorite Warren Beatty movie that he directed? You just said it's not your favorite. I'm curious about what, because his directing career is strange. Heaven Can Wait.
Maybe Heaven Can Wait?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should all watch Dick Tracy.
Okay. It might be time to revive Dick Tracy. Right now, you're making me look up what Warren Beatty directed.
He's got Heaven Can Wait. I just looked at Heaven Can Wait, Reds, Dick Tracy, Bulworth, and Rules Don't Apply.
I like Bulworth.
Bulworth was good at the time. I haven't watched it in a long time. I remember seeing that in the theater.
He still has the rights to Dick Tracy, and he keeps doing like weird TV appearances in character.
Oh yeah, remember that a few years ago? That was
like
great.
talking to Ben Mankiewicz, I think.
Yes, it was on TCM.
Warren Beatty's still with us. Not too late. Sorry, I'm really derailing, but thinking about Warren Beatty.
It is a great. Reds is great. I had actually not either. I've seen it, but I did not see it when I probably was supposed to have seen it. Right, like as a younger person, but I saw it recently-ish. And it's great. And like Richard, to your point, like it's a completely different role from a lot of these comedies we're talking about. And she was obviously so good at comedy, but she just completely sells this incredible drama. And she's great. Like, again, like opposite Beatty and like, she's always up against these great all-time legendary actors and just like matching them beat for beat, which I think is really a testament to her talent.
More than holds her own there. Yeah, it's a big film. Definitely worth seeing.
It was 2 VHSs, Richard. Do you remember this? If you went to Blockbuster, it had to be on the 2 tapes. You couldn't even fit on one tape.
The double tape.
That was one of the
package. Yeah.
That was why I never rented it, because I was like, I don't have 2 tapes. It just
that's like and it's like if you have Casino. Like your Blockbuster budget for the week, like that's like just 2 of them. Right? I think Dances with Wolves is also a
Titanic. Katie, this is another after party. Plug after party. This is another one.
Should we just? I probably still have the 2 VHS.
I definitely
somewhere.
do.
I'll bring it in as a prop.
I still have 2 picks. I still have 2 picks. Or
do I have one?
I'm gonna knock one of them off.
I'm gonna next. I'm gonna take Family Stone, Katie. I can't believe I'm just gonna snatch this one from you because I feel like this had to be on your list. And it was her first time with Rachel McAdams, which she's great in. And this is a great holiday movie. People love it. I think. I don't know. Do they love it? Is it good? Is it bad? A lot of these holiday movies, I feel like, are not. They are great or they're not great, but people just watch them all the time. I think this one's pretty good myself, but I could see people not liking it. But she's the matriarch in the movie. It's great. Sure, I'm in. Like
that's always been one that I feel like okay about. Like I think I was in the wrong time to try to give it its proper due at that point. I think especially after Something's Gotta Give, I don't think it's quite as good a movie as that.
No.
It has that like classic like sweet Christmas movie thing. Like it's so many of these Christmas movies just emerge as a classic over time, and I think that one is like it's not like Elf, which I think has emotions to it, but it gets that like the Christmas family dynamics coming out at that time of year, and like in a way that I don't think that many other movies do. It kind of has that lane to itself, which I think is part of its staying power.
I was thinking this one and like Home for the she's not in this, but Home for the Holidays. I felt like I put these two together in terms of like weird family movies kind of coming together, holidays. And Nancy Meyers made a better Christmas movie, in my opinion, in The Holiday. All that said, this one's fine. I know Nancy Meyers didn't do The Family Stone. I'm just saying, like,
I think it was The Holiday out the same.
The
Holiday was like the year after The Family Stone, maybe. So that's maybe also part of its how his reputation is a little bit weird. But I feel like the clips of her and Rachel McAdams together come back all the time. I also, this is not related to Diane Keaton, but Rachel McAdams is in the trailer, she's in her glasses and like messy hair and oversized skirt drinking coffee. Like every time I'm home for a holiday, that's exactly what I look like. I feel like it's the most realistic thing.
That's a Halloween costume for you, Katie. That's it right there.
But yeah,
get a mug and you like kind of sip and walk away.
It's the female version of Leo and One By Laughter.
I was going to say, yes, you're Bob Ferguson. Anyway, go ahead. What do you have next, Katie?
I mean, I had Godfather on my list, so like I got to figure out what a fifth one was going to be. But I think I had to be the person to stick up for Book Club. Like I think Book Club is a fine movie. Like it is very fun, but there's this entire mini genre that Diane Keaton was really excelling at. I hope getting paid very well for. That Book Club really starts of like older women doing funny stuff, having a really good time. Like, men are kind of irrelevant to the entire effort. I mean, you get the highbrow version of it with Soderbergh's Let Them All Talk, but you also get like Palms, which comes out a year after this, and I've never seen, but is not much better than that. But her, Jane Fonda, Candice Bergen, Mary Steenburgen, reading 50 Shades of Grey, having a great time. I guess one of them hooks up with Andy Garcia. I don't remember which one, but God bless them. Like, this is kind of all like post Mamma Mia world where just like like movies targeted older women in that way. And Diane Keaton excelled at it. Not all of them are great. I have not seen most of them, but like this mode, as opposed to like lecturing Mandy Moore in that movie that I also never saw, was just really strong for her. And I think just like is empowering, as like corny as that sounds and as cynical as I think that was for a lot of these movies. I think it was meaningful to give all of these women, these actresses specifically, something to do. Richard, you and Jane Fonda are now close personal friends after she was on the Rushfield Lunch, and I don't think she would be powerful no matter what, period. But I think all of these movies benefited all of them. Book Club made over $100 million and was made for $10 million. That is power right there.
Yeah, and led to Hollywood doing almost nothing to replicate the success.
No, because
too, Richard.
No, they made Palms, Book Club 2. She was in something. Diane Keaton's last movie was something called Summer Camp with Kathy Bates and Alfre Woodard.
It did not coming. It little bit, but it did not ignite a wholesale sense of, gosh, there's this whole section of the audience that has disposable income that we never make movies for. Maybe we should make some movies about them sometimes.
They just made a bunch of seasons of Big Little Lies instead.
Yeah, that's what they do instead. I haven't. I'm part of the problem here because I've never actually seen Book Club. So my apologies, but I think
it's the target audience.
I think it's good for the world that it exists, and I would like to support Book Club.
Magnanimous, yes.
And that to me. Wow, you guys, you left me, so I'm going to finish off my top 5 here, and you didn't take any away from me. The final one, her 5th best movie is not a movie, actually. It's a TV show. That's how he tricked you all. The Young Pope. She's played a nun at least two times, maybe more. It feels like more. Someone mentioned Shoot the Moon. Shoot the Moon was very close for me on this list. I'm sorry to say it didn't make it, but I love the Young Pope is a great weird movie about a pope, and she is the nun who Jude Law becomes the pope through strange circumstances, and she is the nun who raised him and becomes his sort of conscience in the Vatican while he runs amok a little bit and finds his way back. All that, and it's a terrific series, and she is kind of once again the center of that, and the moral center of it, and it's a fun performance. She's a very believable nun, and I'm sorry that it's not a movie, so this is cheating, but
it's cinematic. Though. It was a cinematic TV show.
And film. I had no idea she was on The Young Pope because that show seems so up my alley, and I never watched it. But
it's a really great show.
It's
good.
Made by what's his name, Luca? What?
No, isn't it Paolo Sorrentino? Didn't he do it, or is it Luca?
Oh yes, that's the other
Sorrentino. One. Yes,
the other Italian. Yes.
Yes.
What wasn't there another Pope? Oh, the new Pope. That was the other one with John Malkovich.
That was a sequel. That was
a sequel to this.
And neither of them have anything to do with the Two Popes, which is a Netflix movie.
No. That's got confusing. Yeah.
Nor Conclave.
Pretty much all Pope content is always good. Like, name a bad Pope movie out there.
Oh boy. I would assume there is one out there, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have one offhand, so maybe they're all good.
The Vatican is inherently cinematic, so I mean that's about as cinematic as you get for location. So when you start there, you're kind of at a C+ before you even turn the cameras on. So it's but the Young Pope is great. She is great in it. Have we exhausted our choices?
I got one more.
I had one more written down too. Katie, you want to go? I'll let you, Katie.
No,
you go first, Katie.
Okay. Well, I mean, someone's got to say Father of the Bride and Father of the Bride Part 2. Can we like put them all together? I have not seen these movies in quite a while, so I'm not going to have like an immediate thing. I did see multiple clips of in Father of the Bride Part 2 where she and her daughter are pregnant at the same time. Sure. And Martin Short is leading them in an exercise class. And, Martin Short is a thing from these movies that really stands out for everybody. But it, again, feels like an example of not only Diane Keaton being like relatable, being a mom, kind of holding together these kind of antic movies, but holding her own with Steve Martin and Martin Short well before Selena Gomez ever got there. I mean, it's like real millennial iconography. Again, I haven't seen it in a while, so my specific details are not out there. But I don't think you can talk about Diane Keaton's career without, that like, early 90s kind of, I assume she's like in her 40s by then, like, stepping up into a whole different level of her career.
I considered Father of the Bride. It very close on depending on which way the wind is blowing. It could make my list, but I felt that she's too much the straight man in that movie.
Yeah.
That Steve Martin gets all the laughs, and she's just kind of cleaning up after everyone in that. And I feel like that. I feel like that movie does not give her enough to do. It's a movie.
She did a lot of cleaning up after everyone throughout her career, for sure,
and rolling her eyes at all these people are out of control. But it embarked a bad direction for her career, unfortunately. I think, but it's a movie I do like a lot. So go figure.
We didn't mention. I didn't pick any of these, but I saw people saying like Looking for Mr. Goodbar obviously is a famous movie that she did. I don't think it's very. I don't know. Do you think that holds up, Richard, or did you ever like it? But it's not one of my faves, certainly. But
I've never seen it.
I don't think it's I don't think it's a good movie.
I don't think it's very good either. No, we didn't mention First Wives Club, which I was not super into, but I feel like that some people watch
this. The music we started with. I haven't watched it beyond that musical number in a long time, so I don't know if I can defend it still.
I'm gonna pick though for my last one. I wrote it down. Finding Dory. She plays Dory's mom as a voice role. I gotta say, the beginning in a classic Pixar fashion, Finding Dory, not in my top tier Pixar movies. I don't think it's very good overall. But the opening of the movie is you see Dory like getting lost and losing her family, and her mother and father are played by Diane Keaton and Eugene Levy, and it never ceases to not make me like cry. Like I just think it's so moving, the beginning, and she's so great, and she really is just such a great like voice performer. I just find that like scene beautiful, and so like I'll put that down. That was my last one for her.
I think that is a totally a solid way to go with it. That's definitely a highlight of the past decade in there.
Yeah.
Katie, do you have another?
No, I think I did. Chris, let me go first. I think I did 5.
That was
trying to think if there's anything that I missed. I mean, again, there's I haven't seen Looking for Mr. Goodbar. I haven't seen a bunch of those Woody Allen early ones, so I don't know if I want to shout them out.
Shoot the Moon is another one.
Yeah,
that belongs on someone's list. So shame on you guys for not putting that on.
Well, she also directed a movie in 1995. Starring called Unstrung Heroes. Have you guys ever seen Unstrung Heroes from 1995 with Andy McDowell and John Turturro? I mean,
these are all fake. These are like these movies. A lot of these, you look at the titles and it's like, and so it goes. Because I said so. A lot of like fake movie, Love Weddings and Other Disaster. It's like they're like fake 30 Rock movies almost, right? Like in the terms of the titles.
Oh, definitely.
So. But I would love to check some of these out on Tubi.
She was a movie with John Heder that feels like the plot of Step Brothers that came out the year before Step Brothers, and no one remembers called Mama's Boy. Like there's some misfires in there for sure.
But a great presence, a great woman of Hollywood, a great icon. We were lucky to have her in all our lives. She played such a big role in them, and really really sad to lose her. So.
I wanted to look up. I didn't know because she seems like one of those Hollywood icons who should present Best Picture. Like how they always bring in somebody who's an icon, and she did it once. She and Jack Nicholson together presented Best Picture to The Departed. It was a real cheat since Jack Nicholson is in it, but you bring Jack Nicholson whenever you can. So I'm glad she should have been able to do it on her own, like Jane Fonda, but I'm glad she got her chance.
Yeah. All right, I raise my Olipop to you.
Nice. Nice.
A career well lived, and thank you unfortunately, we'll probably be back here soon.
Oh God,
Richard, you're such a grim reaper, but unfortunately, you're actually also probably right.
I guess I gotta
but
watch Red. Warren Beatty's 88.
You should definitely watch Red. It's great. Warren Beatty is awesome. Like, I'm knock on wood that he lives much longer, but he's really great when we like a lot of great things to talk about Warren Beatty.
If you take that, if you take a look at there's a list somewhere online of the current ages of the Hollywood icons. We got a lot. Get your outfits ready. Unfortunately,
well, Dolly Parton has told us she's not dead yet, so we can at least hold out some hope that Dolly will be with us for a while longer. Everybody else, who knows?
The list in their 90s is significant, so
okay,
bear that in mind.
Don't Google it, Katie. Just don't Google.
Just wait.
Be unaware. It's
wait.
great.
We'll wait for the surprise.
Let it surprise you. I don't want to ruin it. Anyway, Diane, thank you for everything. Thank you for all the memories, and thank you all for joining us. And we'll see you back here hopefully on a happier occasion. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.